We are live. Hey, head, get yourself together, big dog.
I know.
To the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, senior recruiting editor for Auburn Live on 3, dadgummit. Welcome. Today is September the 1st, 2024, 24 hours after Auburn had kicked off for the first of the year. Whoop the snot. Out of Alabama A&M, 73-3. My goodness. We're going to talk all about that. We want to hear what your opinions are. We want to hear from our favorite callers. We're going to do all that here with me. Mr. Cole Pinkston, Mr. Allen Head. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
How about you, brother? How we doing tonight?
Man, I'm going to tell you. That was a lot of fun.
Wasn't it?
It was.
It was. I agree.
And I loved what I saw. I loved the play call, and I love that they kept their foot on the gas because it wasn't about winning or scoring or anything. It was about getting better.
I think that is spot on. And something that I've heard a couple of journalists say now, I think Jason Caldwell kind of mirrored a similar thought, that it's just been too long since you've seen Auburn continuously run offense to get guys better. Right? It wasn't about the starters. It was about the depth. It was continuing to mature these young wide receivers because it's growth and development that they need, not for, Alabama A&M, but it's live reps to get them prepared for Cal, to get them prepared for Arkansas. Live reps they're going to need later on in the year. So just to kind of see that, I thought it was really different for Auburn because how many times did we watch Gus or Chiz or even dude Tuberville was the worst at this to get up on 30 points and then we're running the football the entire second half.
Yes.
You're not taking anything away from it.
Cole, what was your biggest takeaway? What did you like? Yes. Oh, that's what I wanted to see.
Well, you remember on the modcast we talked about and we have another show, Alan, Justin Hoganson and I, where we go way in depth on all this stuff, but we talked about the two things or one or two things that we wanted to see from Auburn on Saturday against Alabama A&M. My two were stop the run. Thought that was handled perfectly. Maybe not perfectly, but almost as dominant as you could ask for. It's in stopping the run. I think what did we say the average was, Alan? 1 yard per carry for them? 1.2 yard per carry?
Yeah, 1.1, I believe.
And that was all 3 or 4 the depth. It wasn't like in the fourth quarter they started ripping off runs. It was the third and fourth string was stuffing too.
That's what we talked about. Alan made a great point on our show that's coming out tomorrow. UMass broke off a couple runs against Auburn last year. When was the last time you just saw Auburn dominantly stop the run? I hadn't seen it in a while. They did it. I don't care who the opponent is.
36 yards rushing.
36 on
A&M.
And it was like 1 yard per carry. So that's winning football right there. That's something you can build on.
It was. The other thing, 1.0.
Yeah, 1.0. So the other thing that I wanted to see was yak yards. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yards after catch?
Yep.
That was there.
Auburn had 198, 200 yards yak.
Even better than I thought. So there you go. Those are the two things I wanted to see. I felt like if you can do those things pretty consistently against a team like Alabama A&M, that's a good sign for going into these bigger games like Cal and your SEC play.
Yeah. And you said yak. My man Malcolm Simmons is a absolute yak monster. Is he not?
He is.
He has 61.
Yeah.
It's just
Perry had 41. Cam had 31. No, I'm sorry, Caleb Burton. He should have had 43.
And then he forgot that. Yeah, I was going to say until he forgot the guy was behind him.
I was in the media room once. I was like, God dang, that dude's slow. What position is he? Who is that?
He's faster than that, I think, right?
Gotta be.
I think he just
was he loafing?
No, I think he pulled up. I think he didn't realize the guy was behind him or didn't see him and just kind of like, I'm about to trot into the end zone. And that guy was like, no, dude. He was hustling.
That's the kind of stuff like that. Let's say that he did pull up. A couple times I thought guys sort of waltzed into the end zone. There was the one where Malcolm Simmons almost dropped the ball crossing the goal line, which Hugh Freeze just tweeted about that, by the way. I don't know if y'all follow him on Twitter. So I like that. I like that they were not complacent about anything. I like that they were, like you said, Jeffrey, it was about getting better. Hey, it doesn't matter that we're winning big. Don't you? It's what you've seen. I know y'all probably hate to hear this. It's what you saw Saban do all those years at Alabama. When they
Sure.
get up big on somebody, I think Alan, you made the point on that. When they get up big on somebody, when it looked like the game was over, if he saw his guys getting complacent, he would break his headset.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you would have thought that it was D-Day all of a sudden and Saban was getting ready to invade, a foreign country because he would just absolutely lose it.
Yep.
Which is why I loved watching Hugh Freeze get on his ass.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He got on Peyton Thorne's ass. Auburn was up 20-something to nothing. There was no chance, and he got on his ass.
That's something else that you like about Peyton Thorne. He can handle it.
He sure did.
He got no problem with it. Hey, he'll take it and he'll use it. And he got better as the game went on. And just a couple things there where it was some coaching moments, and Freeze knew he was going to take advantage of that.
You remember who else used to be that way? And Kirby Smart used to just destroy this kid. But Stetson Bennett III, man. I mean, he would come to the sideline and Kirby would be in his face before he could even get situated back to the bench, just ripping his ass for something.
Yeah.
And we did talk about this on the other show, Cole, but realistically to me, that is just Hugh getting his guys' attention, making sure they understand they haven't arrived yet. This is what you're supposed to do. And if you don't make a play that you're supposed to make against Alabama A&M, how can I trust you to do it against Cal, against Arkansas, against Oklahoma?
Yeah.
So get out there and make the plays that you're capable of making and make sure you execute. And if we're talking about things we wanted to see accomplished, I think we all wanted to see this. We wanted to see a clean operation, efficient scoring, and effective run defense. And you accomplished all those. You got a little sloppy in the fourth with 2 turnovers there. But those are things, again, when you have Tell the Truth Monday and they're putting everything up for teaching tape, this is what you can't do, right?
Right.
This is what you can't do. If you do this against a different opponent, you're going to get beat. And those will be things they will drive home all week long to make sure they have this team's attention. And realistically, if they don't put up that, if they don't make them watch the Cal game from last year to say, this is what you looked like, do you want to go up there and look like you threw up on yourself again? Like the prom queen that got, hammered before the prom and puked down her dress?
Ooh.
I hope not. I hope not, because that's what you looked like last year.
My 2 things were this. When I was walking away from that game, walking back to the car, I was thinking, man, pump the brakes, dude, 73-3, but it's Alabama A&M. It was one of the worst teams I've ever witnessed in person. They just couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. And then I thought, well, that's fine and all, but what would Georgia have done to this team? What would Alabama have done to this team? And I feel like Auburn did exactly what Georgia and Alabama would have done.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I'm not comparing the 2 teams. Auburn's not there yet, talent-wise, but damn, they're getting there.
I don't disagree with you. I think there's some really tangible pieces that you saw in hand last night. They're going to be players for years to come. Like I honestly feel that way. Now, what I will tell you, if I'm playing devil's advocate, 2 years back, I believe it was Auburn versus Alabama State, Harson's first year. Auburn had just rolled Akron, turns back around, rolls a SWAC team. We're getting prepared for Penn State, and everybody's thinking, we're about to go into Happy Valley and win the game.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we turn around and you lose to what turned out to be, I think, a mediocre Big Ten team. I believe they went either 8-5 that year.
Built that game up to be the biggest thing of, the decade. I'll never forget that. Recruiting and all this, it was huge. Harsin built this game up, and they went out and laid a freaking egg.
Correct. So I say all that to say,
I hear you.
Don't put too much stock into one game.
I hear you.
Especially a first game. I do think it was fantastic to see us play the way that we did and the way that you're capable of playing. But it means absolutely zero if you go out here and you lay an egg against Cal. And that's what you want to avoid.
Auburn minus 10.5. First lines that came out today, as Cole Pinkston reported. Hey, we're going to get some phone lines. We want to hear some of y'all's thoughts, man. 701-779-9585. Before we do, don't forget, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking to move, looking to make a home, looking to make an investment, look no further for the help you need. Give Jessica Andrews a call with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. A lot of fours in that number, Alan Head, but she is a 5-star realtor. And she's got a 5-star property. A little listing of the week real quick. We had a little open house on this Saturday morning. Met some really good people, man. This house is gorgeous. If you're looking for a 4-bed, 4.5 bath in Auburn, give her a call, man. This is a fantastic, beautiful home in a fantastic neighborhood right off of Hamilton Road in Auburn. Listed for $859.9. Motivated seller. Give Jessica Andrus a call. If you know somebody, if you're interested, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. All right, Zach in the back, how about coming to the front and connecting us with the listeners?
Hey, you already know where we're starting today.
Ooh.
Kevin from Wilmer, you're live, man.
Kevin from Wilmer, Alabama.
Oh, Kevin.
How about you, big dog?
How about Peyton Thorne? 322 passing yards and 5 touchdowns.
You called it, didn't you, Kevin?
Yeah, I did.
The only
Hell
thing,
yes, Kevin. Hell yes.
hell yeah, I did. The only thing Kevin didn't account for is that he was going to spread the wealth around as much as he did. He threw 5 touchdown passes. Kevin thought 4 of them was going to Cam Coleman.
This is true.
Yeah.
How about Cam Coleman touchdown?
What'd you think about that, Kevin?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the one Perry Thompson caught.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of those true freshman wide receivers made big plays in their
About
first game.
Keandre Lambert-Smith, Kevin.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. He's fantastic. Kevin, you coming up for Cal?
I might come up the homecoming game.
Okay. Hey, you wearing your shirts? You and Wanda wearing your shirts? Your Auburn Live shirts?
Yeah, we will that day.
He's saving them for a special occasion.
I like it.
There you go.
Kevin, give us a quick prediction for the Cal game.
Auburn 45 and Cal 34.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great.
wow.
That's a great pick.
Wow.
That's a great pick. Using the Las Vegas, that's about right.
And Cam Coleman will have 4 touchdowns in that game.
Okay, he's coming back. He's making a comeback the next week.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna write it down, Kevin. We're gonna be looking for you to call in next Sunday.
Thank you for the shirt.
You're welcome, buddy. Appreciate you calling in, Kevin. You tell Wanda we said hello. War Eagle, buddy. Kevin, best fan we know.
Kevin speaks it into existence, man.
No doubt. He said, yeah, dude.
Hey, guys.
Oh,
Don here.
Okay.
What's up, Don?
How you guys doing, brothers?
How you
Can't
doing,
complain.
Don?
Better
Doing
now.
good.
Called in, Don.
I'm good now. Hey, I had a couple of guys that on the corner meet me at my little party at 1716. Man, we had a ball there, guys.
Oh, yeah?
That place. Jeffrey Lake, tell me the story about what did you say you got thrown out of there a long time ago?
Yeah, I'm still banned from that joint.
Not if you. Hey, my buddy, I know everybody down there. You can go there with me, brother. I'll take.
All right. If I tell them I know Don, they're gonna let me in.
Yes,
They still got my mugshot on the wall right at the door.
I cannot believe how many people came up to me. Are you Don from Jocks, or are you War Damn Don from the corner? I mean, I was having a ball.
You big time, big dog. You big time.
I see you laughing at me, Alan.
Hey, I'm just saying.
My picture
Don-
with all those women up against the wall, guys.
Hey, now.
What do you say about pinning women up against the wall?
I don't know. Don said he's internationally known over there, bro.
Don now, guys. But now, hey, Cole, by the way, while you were reporting from Selma, I decided to go to the Mountain Brook Parker game to help out a little bit. and I talked to some parents about the football players, and they flat out told me that Overford is coming to Auburn.
Offered.
Yep.
Yeah,
Name offered, yeah.
Yeah, but one guy showed me his picture on the phone with what I think did Overford put that on his Instagram the other day with him wearing an Auburn jersey, say I'm coming.
No, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that, Don. But
Well,
again, I'm not on social media as much as I
on the
should be.
corner that Friday night when the guy told me that. But guys, what? Last night, I got to tell you, I was there, and for the opening game, what an atmosphere and everything. The whole entire day was great, and the recruits are just ranting and raving about the atmosphere. And guys, I don't think you could ask for a better first game. I really don't.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so either.
Especially given the opponent, right?
Great pick, Kevin, but I hope we don't give up 34 points against California. I don't think that would be good.
I think Cal's going to score. Kevin's got him scoring like 2 or 3 late touchdowns against the 6th string to make it seem closer than it really is.
Okay. Well, the Freeze 4 had a great debut that they
Sure did.
What did Bryce Kane play on special teams?
I don't remember on special.
I don't think so, Don, but I got to go back and watch it again. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I got a chance to go through it one time, and typically I go through it 2 or 3 times before we have a show like this so we can really discuss it.
Well, one last thing is I know you guys got a lot of people calling on the first Jarquez Hunter touchdown. If you look at the film, watch Connor Lew pancake this guy about 5 yards down the field. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that replay on that play or not, but Connor Lew pancaked the heck out of that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
Okay.
he flipped him on his back like a cockroach, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said you were absolutely right, Don. I mean, he completely flat backed the kid. It was impressive to see for sure.
Okay. Well, guys, thank y'all for what you do. I always enjoy calling and everything. And war damn Eagle, like I always say.
War damn Don Eagle. War damn Don Eagle.
Yeah.
You know what? Real quick story. So Bryce came come out last night of the stadium, walking out. He walked up to us and Bryce, you dropped something. It's like, what, man? What? I said, the football. Hey! He didn't think it was very funny.
I bet he did not.
No, he did. He's a real cool guy. I like it.
No, he's a great kid.
Yeah. To me, seeing all 4 of those guys make a big play like that, I thought was fantastic, man. I loved seeing Malik Blockton in there. There were so many new players. Keandre Lambert-Smith, obviously. The offensive line, I try to keep as much track on them as possible. I didn't see a lot of Percy Lewis. Did you?
So Percy got some rotation with TJ.
Okay.
I think TJ got a few more snaps, but I don't know that to be a fact. I needed to. I'm waiting for PFF to come out because I kind of let them. I don't look too much into the grades, but I do look at their snap count because I don't have time to kind of tag all that the way that they do. So that gives me an informed update of who's playing what and what the rotation looked like.
All the freshmen on defense, DJ Barber, Jay Crawford, DeMarcus Riddick was in there.
Yeah.
There was some real. It's hard to walk away from that game and not get excited again. Pump the brakes. We know who it is, but still seeing those guys get in there and make plays against. I mean, most of those guys shouldn't even be in college yet.
No, and I tell you who really kind of caught me. Well, 2 players, both linebackers caught my eye, but Dorian Mausi. I mean, yes. I knew what to expect from Eugene Asante, right? But seeing how quickly Mausi diagnosed plays, got downhill, and then his speed. I mean, I felt like some of our linebackers, particularly our inside linebackers last year, were playing in quicksand at times.
17 and 12.
Yes. And then Woodyard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very impressed by a kid that was, obviously very injured when he first arrived at Auburn. Took 2 years to get his body right. But, I mean, I think DJ Durkin may be turning him into a player a little bit. I mean, I think there's something there to that, and more so than I thought that there would be. And so I'm encouraged about the future with him, if not necessarily it's kind of a growth and progression year for him, but next year could be his year, right?
Right on. Keep us going, Zach.
2822. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Cole from Knoxville.
Oh, Cole. What's on your mind tonight, Cole?
Man, I was first of all, thought it was a big win for Auburn. Thought Auburn looked really good. I got asked earlier this week what I needed to see from Auburn to feel good about the year going forward. And I randomly, you know how us Auburn fans are, we throw things out sometimes. They're a little bit unrealistic.
Sure.
I was like, I need to see Auburn score 70 points. and I'll feel good.
Ha!
And I said, I'll feel like that we have some players in the SEC if we can score 70. And when we scored 70, I got to thinking a little bit. I said, I remember another time, I thought I did, that Hugh Freeze scored 70 points in his opening game against a lesser opponent. 2015 Ole Miss. He scored 70 points. They scored 70 points against UT Martin. And I say all that to say this. I think Hugh Freeze feels really comfortable. I think, Alan, to hit your phrase again, I probably say it about once a week if I say it talking about Auburn football or if I say it about something on the job.
I love it, big dog.
Proof of concept. And I think Auburn fans should feel really good about going forward. I'm with you guys on not jumping ahead of not putting the cart before the horse here. Was Alabama A&M, but I did want to make the observation. Hugh Freeze, 2015, scored, I think it was 73 points in his opening game against UT Martin at Ole Miss, and they had a dang good year in 2015. I'm not saying that we'll have a year like they had in 2015, but I'm saying we're headed in that direction.
Okay.
So one question for you guys, or really two questions. How many points do you predict us to score against Cal? And what are you guys most worried about moving forward, maybe against better opponents?
Okay. Fair enough. Two good questions. Cole, do you remember the over-under for the Auburn Cal game?
52 and a half. Is that right, Zach?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
So they're looking at a 30-something, 20-something game.
Or maybe 55. Yeah. I'm at 55.
It's 53 and a half.
53.
And 10 and a half is the line.
No, 12 and a half now.
It's 12 and a half
shit,
now.
Really?
Auburn. Yeah. I've seen one as high as 14 and a half, too.
They jumped on Auburn minus 10.
Oof.
Yeah, right. Well,
2 touchdowns. That's about right.
I guess that's good. That's a good sign.
It's so tough. Auburn's defense was great. They gave up some plays.
Well, to answer his question, it's the secondary. I think we all agree on that. That we made the point on the other show. There's rotation everywhere on defense. New faces almost every couple of drives, and then corner, it's the same guys. Don't have a lot of rotation there. Yeah. And you're like, all right, J.C. Hart struggled a little bit. Jay Crawford was called for hands to the face. Canley played it well, but didn't play the ball sometimes. There's a few things there where you go, okay, that wasn't perfect, as some other things did look perfect. So that would be my concern moving forward.
Could you see Cal scoring 3 touchdowns next week? I haven't seen Cal. I haven't seen a snap of them since last year. I never wanted to watch another Cal game after me and my dad watched the Auburn Cal game. Never wanted.
Yeah,
I could. Okay.
Now, in their defense, and I did a little bit of a deeper dive before we came on this show. We discussed Cal briefly in the show that we did earlier, that we taped earlier today. But 2 of their starting offensive linemen were out
last week or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Jade Knott got injured at some point, but he was pretty unproductive yesterday. I think.
Is he the running back?
Yes, 49 total yards, I believe.
He's a very good running back.
And some struggles from the quarterback position. I don't believe 2 of their transfer wide receivers were playing yesterday that they were counting on, and I don't know that they'll be available against Auburn. Odd is also, I think, questionable for Auburn. So I'll be interested to see what the Monday report is coming from their head coach. But they're also transitioning coordinators. I believe that Jake Spavital, who was their OC last year, is now with Baylor. Mike Blosh, their former offensive line coach last year, has taken over as the play caller. And he's out of the Philip Montgomery tree. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like. But I've got it as, I think I said, I'm going to go 35-17, I think is kind of how it's going to end up with Auburn.
I like that.
On the 35 number.
When you say former, you say he was the offensive line coach?
Yes.
Is that what you said? When you say that, I don't know too many offensive line coaches that don't want to run power.
Run
45
the
times a
football.
game. Right.
No, I'm with you, right? They want to make sure you know that they were there that day, right?
Yes.
And they want to line up
Third
and get
and 18.
downhill.
3rd and 18. Power.
Yeah. Which, look, if I'm going to be honest with you, hey, Lane Kiffin did that last year more times than you would think. They ran in unconventional downs when it was like 3rd and 15 or 3rd and long and got it into 4th and manageable, and they were able to convert. They did that against Auburn several times. So
yeah,
there's some method to the madness on that for sure.
I'll go 35-20. So I'll give them 20 points. A couple touchdowns, couple of field goals, and then there's your over-under, and there's your cover. 35-20. How about that, Zach? You like that?
Yeah, that's about where I was. I had 38-20.
Okay.
Good stuff, Cole. Did we answer everything?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm with Cole on the secondary. With the good running back coming in, I want to see what Auburn looks like against a good run offense.
I'm with you because if it's not the secondary for me,
Yes.
Hugh Freeze hit it in his press conference. I thought they were solid. They fit the run exceptionally well, but you didn't see that vertical pressure in the pocket from the interior defensive line.
Right on.
And so you want to see if they can create some havoc on the interior. I mean, Marcus Harris was a one-man wrecking crew on the inside this time last year. And do you have that kind of a player, right? And you just don't know. I don't think we saw enough yet to know if you have that kind of guy in Philip Leedy or not. I tend to believe he's not going to be as productive as Marcus from last season, but that doesn't mean that he can't be good. And it doesn't mean that you can't attack it through rotation and keep fresh bodies rolling through there so that you continuously keep pressure on the pocket.
Was Bobby Travis and Malik Blockton, were they in and out, or were they on the field at the same time?
They were on the field at the same time. I think.
Okay.
I know at least one time they were in a 3 front and Blockton was like your 4-eye 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he can do 4-eye 5 or 3, I believe. Blockton. They can move him from those 3 spots. I was impressed with the D line, and we'll move on after this, but I think I think they played great. I don't want to take anything away from them. I think they'll be fine. They got more bodies now. They got some guys that are making some plays. That's good to see. It not getting pushed backwards yet.
No.
Gap integrity was strong. We talked a lot about that on the show y'all will see tomorrow. But I really believe that linebacker play is taking a big step forward right now. It looks good.
It's good when the 2 guys at linebacker that flashed, and neither one of them were Asante.
No.
Mausi and Woodyard.
Yeah. That dude was all over the place.
Truly was.
They both had 5 tackles, team high 5 tackles. The reason I was asking about Bobby Travis and Malik Blockton is Cole and I caught Vontrell King-Williams leaving the stadium last night, and I was like, hey, man, without watching the film, who were the 2 guys that really popped to you? And he said Bobby Travis and Malik Blockton.
I was impressed with Bobby as a guy who he didn't even play last year, didn't even get in the mix, with the exception of the bowl game. But he's transformed his body. You can see he looks different on the field right now. And I was impressed. I really was. And I'll be interested to see what the rotation looks like with Isaiah Rakes back in the mix, because Rakes and Bobby are playing kind of the same position. So does he lose ground there? Does Jason Jones end up sacrificing some snaps, or do they figure out a way to rotate each of them to get 15 to 20 snaps each, and you're just waves, right? Like, I'm keeping that fresh body in there.
I believe Cole's been a big fan of Bobby Travis.
Yeah, I like him. He's disruptive. He's not as – when you're talking about gap integrity, I did notice a couple plays where it's like, all right, you're shooting the gap a little bit there. Like, be careful, because when you get in a big game, that could open up a big hole if they work you out of there.
Okay.
That's what I noticed. I'm sure Vontrell King-Williams, when he goes back, he'll go, all right, you need to remember gap integrity here. I know you want to go make the play, big dog, but
settle down.
I mean, look, it's tough. I played D-line. Zach, you probably have in your life. When you're D-lineman, sometimes your job is to hold your point. And it's hard to tell a guy, hey, don't go make the play. Hold your point. Let the linebacker make the play.
Sometimes your job is to not make the play.
Correct.
And I don't want to take anything away from Bobby Travis. He played well. It's just a couple things there where I was like, all right, trying to shoot the gap a little bit. He got in there. It was disruptive. I like that. You need a disruptive guy.
I like it. All right. Good stuff, Cole. Appreciate you, big dog.
I believe this is Anthony from Montgomery. Anthony, you live.
Fellas, Anthony from Montgomery.
Hey, fella. How about you?
Anthony's happy to have some football.
How y'all doing tonight?
Anthony, we're doing fantastic, big dog. What did you think about that yesterday?
Y'all just stole my thunder, man. I was calling in to talk about Robert Wood. I think that linebacker crew might be better than what we expected. It might be deeper, I should say. I think we can roll like probably about 5 guys out there.
I would say they're already better than I expected. I think Robert Williams better than I expected just from this one game. He was better last night than I thought he would be. I thought Mausi was better than I thought he would be.
I've always liked Robert Woodyard. His film.
You really have. Yeah, you have been a Woodyard fan.
He just slammed down. He's flying to the ball, man. I saw him shoot the gap one play. Man, came like a missile. I was like, okay. I like that.
Yeah, he's fast.
I also want to talk about the running back in pass protection, man. It's going to go unnoticed, man. But it was a few times that DeMar stepped right in front of Payne. They was blitzing both A gaps, and I'm talking about, I know it's Alabama A&M, but, you know, looking at last year, that's what you want to see, that running back come there and stick his nose in there like that, man. He did it like 3 consecutive plays where even the announcer was like, look at that running back clean up that linebacker. I'm talking about, man, he stepped right in there and put his nose down. I think that's what they love about DeMar, man. He always where he need to be, he gonna make that play, and I feel like he depend on him.
Anthony, you are whispering sweet nothings in Nicole's ear right now because there's nothing that gets him more hot and bothered than to talk about running backs and pass protection and linebackers coming down.
And they were bad last year.
I was sitting there with Justin Hoganson, and I was like, man, I think I need to I got something in my eye. Like,
weren't they bad last year, Cole?
Murray stepped up.
They've been bad for a while.
Somebody rocked them 2 or 3 times. I mean, I'm like, okay, we didn't see that last year. They was catching, but you know, I guess they worked on it, man. He delivered instead of taking the hit, they delivered it.
That's right.
So that was good to see, man. But I got a little prediction, man. It might sound crazy, but I want to hear y'all opinion on it. I think Auburn scores 40 points in the first 4 games. Hank Thorne had 16 passing touchdowns, I want to say, last year. Yep. I think he at least tops that or go beyond that before we go on the road.
Ooh.
Hey, I'll give you another statistic.
I think he throw at least 3. He gonna throw probably. I got 41-17 against Cal. I think he throw maybe another 3 or 4. Then you know we got New Mexico. He probably throw another 3 or 4. Then we got Arkansas. I think he's gonna throw another 3 or 4 then. Then we're gonna come back to earth when we come to when Arkansas comes. I mean when Oklahoma comes to town.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Oklahoma's got some players, dude.
Yes, they do. They looked good. Now look, Temple is absolutely atrocious. But
hey, but I've been y'all know I've been beating that drum for the long. We're not losing Oklahoma at home, man. I'm telling you, they gotta come to Jordan here.
Anthony, you've been on that for sure.
If we play good ball these first 4 weeks and them boys start to believe with 3 selling week 5, man, I'm telling you, when Oklahoma comes, Oklahoma is the game. We've been saying it though, but Oklahoma is the game that's gonna wake everybody up. And we gonna sleepwalk. They're gonna be like, Auburn play some cupcakes, but when we put that funk on Oklahoma come week 5, I don't think we're gonna blow them out, but it's gonna be a physical game, and they gonna know when they leave Jordan Hare that Auburn for real. So I ain't booging. I'm just saying that.
Booging is allowed, Anthony. Booging is allowed.
I hear you.
Calm down here.
Yeah, when you score 73 points,
they gotta I know it's Alabama A&M, and I'm a realist. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, we put up 70, we gonna win the national championship. That's not me. I'm just telling you, man. They having experience. I know they play Texas and all that, but they having experience what they gonna see when they come to Jordan Hare week 5. That's our big. That at A&M is our big game. Everybody's gonna be there, and it's gonna be crazy. Yeah. You know, Hughes telling the recruits, "Hey, come back for Oklahoma, come back for A&M." That game gonna be rocking. It's gonna be crazy, and we're not losing that game.
Just got to make sure you stay focused for Arkansas, because I can guarantee you this:
is Arkansas before Oklahoma?
Yes.
Shoot, that game scares me.
I'm with you, dude. And look, you know, Trav.
Yes. Talk to him Saturday night.
This will be a point of pride for him. He is not going to get run out of the building in the place that he played. He will not. I mean, I firmly believe they will be up for that game.
They played Jason Caldwell came in the media room before the game, was like, They're out there playing Travis Williams' Tiger Walk song.
Are they really?
Oh,
You know, that would get Trav jacked if he heard that in the
I
stadium.
thought Arkansas looked good. I thought Oklahoma looked good. I thought they looked as good as they should against the teams they played. Same for Auburn, same for Bama, same for Georgia. I thought Georgia was fantastic. So for the games that I got to see, I was impressed with every SEC team except for A&M. I was impressed with freaking Vandy.
Dude,
The nerds.
it is a nerd school. And
The good thing about Arkansas is we get some film on it. We'll see, if they come out and that means you have to win. If they come out and play Oklahoma State hard this week, I think that'll catch the eye.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need to lock in for Arkansas. So if they come out there and drop an egg, then that'll scare me because I'm not saying they can't win, but I think they're going to put up a fight this week. And I think that'll catch the coach's eye. Like, hey, we need to lock in for this and not look ahead to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
especially it being the SEC opener. Yeah.
That quarterback, Green, he definitely presents a problem, right?
Yeah.
Where did he transfer in from?
Boise State. He was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year last year or something like that.
That was 2 years ago. Last year, he got benched midway through the season and then started in their bowl game. He kind of had an up and down year, but Boise went through a little bit of turmoil. I think they fired their head coach, Andy Avalos, midway through the season, promoted the interim. And then he took over and has been hired since. Boise only hires Boise guys. So
Speaking of Boise, they showed their score like during the game, and I think they were losing.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd
erupted,
started cheering. I'm like, man, Boise out here catching strays. They didn't do nothing.
No, dude.
I'm a fan of Boise.
Boise cheered when we took Harsin. You know what I mean? They were
like yes.
They were legitimate fans. They were like, yes, take that guy.
All right.
At the time, I thought it was sour grapes. Then I found out differently.
Two things before we get to our next call. Appreciate you, Anthony. Henry Patton from Auburn Rivals, friend of ours.
Yeah.
He had a great tweet. I think it was Henry.
It was.
Were you there last night when Christian was talking about that? He had tweeted out that Auburn's wide receivers against A&M had 6 receptions, 6 TD receptions. All of last year, they had 7. Auburn's wide receivers last year had 7 TD receptions. Saturday night, they had 6. What about the play calling? We haven't even talked about that.
And realistically, Jeffrey, I thought it was vanilla. I thought I thought it was pretty vanilla and well within their wheelhouse of base. They didn't really scheme it all that much. I didn't think. I think they just ran what they run. But from a personnel grouping standpoint, you saw some empty. You saw some 10. Yeah. It wasn't the same.
First play of the season was empty, was it not?
Yeah.
It was first or second play, yeah. Alan, I will tell you this. On the play script that I'm doing on the board on Drive 5, it got a little bit more less vanilla, I guess you would say.
Okay.
Did you ever see any 12 personnel?
I'm not really paying attention to personnel as much. I haven't seen.
We thought we'd see a lot of that, right?
And I think you will next week against Cal.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I think they're putting different looks on tape to make Cal prepare. And also, look.
I didn't see Luke Dillon there a lot at all.
No, he didn't play a lot. That was not the plan for this game. And I think in the press conference, it was presented to him, hey, y'all were like 60-ish pass to 40-ish run ratio. And he goes, yeah, we probably want that to be the other way.
So this was looking at this game plan. He was going to showcase his wide receivers. He was going to showcase Peyton Thorne, the guy he put all his marbles in the all season.
Yeah,
well,
put all the chips on.
Too, it probably didn't help that our first 3 drives were 2 plays or less, or 4 plays or less.
It was 21-0 after like 58 seconds of possession.
Yeah, so
3 touchdowns and 6 plays.
They didn't have to show much. They just lined up in 4 wide. And just threw it deep.
A double move.
The better
it was over.
Yeah, man. It running 4 verts out there.
So. Brings me to my second question before we get to the next call. You're a SWAC guy. How bad is this team, Alabama A&M? Or is it a decent team?
They were middle of the SWAC last year, right?
Well, in my preseason ballot that I submitted, I had them finishing about 4th in their division
out of.
So their average SWAC team probably somewhere outside. They're probably bottom, however many in the FCS, probably outside the top 80. They're not a very good team. They were good. And right after COVID, they won the championship in COVID. Well, they lost their quarterback to the NFL, to Nikhil Glass, who was Walter Payton Award finalists. They just haven't been able to replace them, and they haven't been very good. And defense was a problem. That's why they fired their whole defensive staff last year.
So bottom half of SWAC, at least.
Okay. Jeffrey, Zach is SWAC. He's not just a SWAC guy. He is SWAC.
Yeah. I watched the show.
Easy.
I watched it. Yeah. I'm telling you, I like it.
Zach, you said something. You put it in the chat in our other show. What about UC Davis? Yeah. How do they compare to Alabama A&M? That's who Cal just played, for those who don't know.
So I'm about to submit because I vote in the media poll for the FCS. UC Davis is 13th in my ballot.
Okay.
So I had them. They're probably a playoff team. Maybe can make a run in the quarterfinal. Their running back, Lan Larison, who led the game in rushing last night, was the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year last year and averaged 140 yards per game last year before he got hurt.
Okay.
Wow. All-American guy for us. He was first team All-American in the FCS.
Tim Plow, the head coach there, if I remember correctly, former offensive coordinator at Boise. Yeah.
Yeah, first year there. He used to be the OC at UC Davis probably 3-4 years ago. And every single year that he was the OC, they had a player up for the Walter Payton Award, which is the FCS Heisman. So he likes to air it out. But Lan Larison's just one of those freaks, just freaks athletically.
Where did Walter Payton go? Mississippi?
Jackson State.
Mississippi State.
That Cal UC Davis game, that was one of the weirdest stat lines you're going to see. That UC Davis had more total offense than Cal. Cal won the game 31-13. UC Davis had 305 yards of offense, and Cal had 283.
Jeffrey, you were thinking Jerry Rice with Mississippi Valley.
There you go.
You were getting ready to say.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the freshman of the year award at the FCS level.
Okay.
Where did T.O. go?
Chattanooga. I was going to say.
Benjamin Russell.
Small school.
Yeah.
We went to Mark.
I think he was the all-time leading receiver at Chattanooga still, I'm pretty sure.
And they played at that terrible indoor stadium, man. What is that thing, dude?
I don't remember what it was called.
It was a high school gymnasium.
It's what it looked like.
With
turf inside it.
Which famous receiver went to Marshall? That's who I was thinking of.
Randy
Moss.
Yeah.
It's Randy Moss. Okay.
He should have won the Heisman.
After Florida. After he got kicked out of Florida, didn't he?
Actually, it was Notre Dame, then Florida State, then Marshall. He got kicked out of both. He got kicked out of both before he landed there.
Is there like a 30 for 30 on that or something?
Yeah.
Yes. Rand University.
Yep.
I saw that. That was a good one. I forgot all about it.
Because Rand was like the convenience store, right? That they all hung out at.
Because it's like an unincorporated city in West Virginia. It's just it's just a convenience store, a few homes, and that's it.
Yep.
And if you're wondering why we're talking about Randy Moss, it's because Sam Jackson mossed somebody last night.
Oh,
did he not, dude? Look, his vert had to be like 40 inches.
I love seeing that. I felt bad for him when he tripped over his own feet in the end zone. I wanted him to get a touchdown from Peyton.
By the way, that was a nice little play call. I have that one already in the script. It was a mesh route. It's really nice.
That was another one that Freeze got hot about on the sideline over there. Like they showed a quick clip of him like getting ready to throw his visor, and you saw him just kind of pull it back.
Dial it back. All right. I got to shut up. All right, Zach, keep us going, big dog.
We got Carter Maldron on the line. Carter, you're live.
Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
Well, shake your dome.
Well, how are you, Carter Malden?
I think I'm pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I rarely talk about the team and about football. I mainly focus on recruiting. But I'm gonna tell you what, that ball that Peyton threw to KLS on I think it was the second touchdown last night. That ball over the top. Oh my Lord, y'all! That I don't care if it was against Alabama A&M. The arc on that ball, it was pure, and I loved every bit of it. And shout out Peyton Thorne, man. He looked about as dang solid as you could get. I really got to give a shout out to him.
I agree with you, Carter. I thought one of his best throws was an incompletion. It was the one to Perry Thompson. That Perry got his hands on, and he was under a little bit of pressure on that play. It's a great throw.
Yeah, I remember that. Perry, I said Perry should have called it.
Yep.
And I think if you go back and look at it, Perry got a little stumbled off the jam.
I'm going to break that play down. Alan, we're going to have a little something.
Okay.
For that.
I'm interested to see you break down on that.
That's a big one for me. That's one of my key plays I want to break down.
I'm looking forward to that one, Cole. I ain't gonna lie. And
do that.
I wanted to ask y'all. I wanted to also give another shout out to Mr. Big Time Game Billy down there in Gainesville. I'm so glad that Malik Aldridge and TJ Dice were down there to watch that ass whooping. I'm so glad.
Oh man! Just
Did
remember
you see
this.
the Miami players telling the recruits to come to Miami? Don't go to this trash school.
Yes,
That's tough. That's tough.
that
right
is
there.
tough, man. I felt for Keith in that moment. You know what I mean? I was like,
Dude can't win.
No, he can't, dude.
But listen,
Poor
y'all,
Keith.
y'all know because of the situation we went through with Harsin covering that
Mm-hmm.
to the transition of Freeze, how quickly you can change things with a school with a brand like Florida. So don't
For
forget.
sure.
Don't forget if Florida gets off on the wrong foot here and starts losing big every week, and they go ahead and get an early decision made on
get dibs on the coaching search.
Then they could become dangerous. I mean, that's how this game works.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
Big time agree. But it just, I do feel for Keith too. I really do. I mean, they took them, hey, as old Spurrier used to say, they took them out back and gave them a good old, you know what, whooping out back to woodshed. Like, that was embarrassing. That was very embarrassing as an opening game. Like, I can't imagine being a Florida fan right now.
Now,
so
Justin said this on our other show, but Jeffrey, how did you feel? Because me and Cole both agreed. Did that feel to you like Harsin versus Penn State year 2 when they came in for that Florida team? Just the whole air went out of the stadium. The team quit.
It was over.
It was almost the same.
You know what the most embarrassing part of the day was when Napier gets to his post-game press conference and cannot open the bottle of water. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't.
He finally just gave up on it.
My secondhand embarrassment couldn't handle it. I can't watch
it. It was cringe, dude.
All right. So was it worse than the UCLA head coach that didn't prepare for Pac-12 media day?
No.
I hope that video gets
was that the enemy?
No. That
was an NFL guy.
Deshaun Foster.
Yeah. Deshaun Foster. There you go.
Yeah, former UCLA great running back.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
If I see that video pop up on my phone, I will run the other way. I can't watch it.
All right, good stuff, Carter. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Hey, I wanted to ask one thing. Do y'all have any clue on the timeline for Melendez? And I'll hang up and War Eagle, and y'all take care. Talk to y'all soon.
If Carter was a member of Auburn Live,
they get him now.
If Carter was a member of Auburn Live on 3, he would have known yesterday the timeline on Elijah Melendez. But since he's obviously not, I was told maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would mesh with what I've heard, Jeffrey.
Have not heard anything different. So that's as far as I know, that is his plan. I feel very good about Auburn's chances with him, and he's just going to wait a couple of weeks to announce.
Oh, LSU's wide receiver. USC's wide receiver might have just made the catch of the year.
I don't know. There was one yesterday.
Was it Branch?
There's a
no
game on.
Yeah, it's all right now.
Damn.
Yeah,
what's the score, Zach?
It's 0-0.
Okay.
In the second
Who are they
quarter.
playing?
LSU USC
What's the score?
0-0.
Who's winning? All right.
1025. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
He's as interested in that SC LSU score as we are.
Yeah, y'all threw him off.
1025. You're live.
Yellow.
All right.
Tough.
5960. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
5960.
I know that number.
I do too.
5960. You're live.
Sounds like a screen door official
I
there.
was about to say, I feel like there
I
needs
thought
to be a
so.
screen door.
There he is.
is.
Hey, get here when you can, big dog.
Well, hey, I told you my routine leading up into the season. I had to take some family time, man. Spend some
Edward,
time with wife on the weekend, on Sunday evening.
You got you a new phone there?
As normal.
Yeah, right.
On my routine, leading up into about the last month of the season. 3-4 weeks into the season, that's my wife time for baby. We can go wherever you need to go, do whatever you need to do. Cause when football season come in, I'm locked in.
I hear you. I hear you, Edward.
That's right.
How y'all guys doing, man?
Pretty good. Edward, you got a new phone there?
Oh yeah, I got my own. No, that's my original phone. That's my original number anyway. My other phone, that was just a backup phone, but I ended up sending this one back to Apple, getting it fixed. So
It sounds great.
You're coming in real clear, is what I'm saying. It sounds good.
Oh yeah. There's no iPhone 15 Pro Max. It better come in clear.
Interesting flex there, big dog.
I hear you.
Man, hey, what y'all think about the Auburn Tigers, man?
Good start. That's a hot start.
What about you, Edward? Give us your impression.
I made a statement about 3 months ago about a kid before he even stepped on campus. And his name was Malcolm Sin.
Yep.
I called in this show, and these were my words. And I'm not getting hyped up over one game. I felt this way before I see him play one game. Malcolm Simmons will have the best Auburn career out of the free four. I ain't saying he might not have as many touchdowns. He might not have many yards. But I'm saying he will have, when you look back at his career, if he stayed at Auburn, we know today's game, anything can happen. But if he stayed at Auburn, the totality of his career, he's going to be a household name among Auburn fans. And he's going to be one of those guys, 30 years from now, they're going to be talking about Malcolm Simmons. I believe that he's one of those guys that his ceiling, man, he's so raw. He's nowhere near the polished of a wide receiver right now. But there's no denying what he can do athletically. You look, this guy that came in 2 months and basically then took him a starting job over a guy that then played 4 or 5 years of college football. And this guy's still raw. He has the highest ceiling, to me, out of the free four because he never played just one position in high school. It's just scratching the surface of what he could be. And there's no knock on none of the other guys. You know, Cam Coleman, you look at the route he ran yesterday. He's not the average true freshman. Cam Coleman come in as a sophomore as far as his route running and things of that nature. You don't find that in a true freshman, being able to start a step and break down and take back off. That's something that got to be taught over years. But he come from a different program. Benjamin Russell, nowhere near Central Phoenix City. You see what I'm saying? So for Cam, the talent he played against yesterday, A&M, he played better talent in high school. You know, A&M, Alabama State, they take a lot of guys 1A, 2A football, 3A football. You know, they running back Morrow. You might not know this. I've been knowing this kid his whole life. Alabama A&M running back. He's right here from Mapleville. Guess what? He's the nephew of Harold Morrow, former Auburn running back. His dad, Randy Morrow, was a former Auburn running back. I mean, nephew of Tommy A.G. So
there you go.
I know it had to feel good for that kid to be on that field that his dad had once played at, you know, and I watched him play in high school. So just sitting and seeing him, knowing that he's a big Auburn fan, his whole family got nothing but Auburn in his blood, being on the opposite side of Alabama A&M, you know, that it had to be a special for us. But I like where we going. And I'm on the record as saying, I'm not looking for next year. And I'm not saying it's called a one game. I felt this all the time. This is the year for Auburn to make some noise. All the ingredients is there. All the pieces of the puzzle is there. You're going to be young, but I still got a running game to lean on. I don't need the wide receiver to make every play. I just need them to make people respect me enough to where you ain't crowding the box on me. And when you do, I'm going to make you pay for it. I ain't putting the whole offense in the hands of my freshmen, but I'm going to take my shots with them on my deep crosses and my post route and my go route. When I catch a man to man, I don't want to. I ain't scared to go deep to him.
Wouldn't be either. Tell you what, Edward, good call on the route running by Cam Coleman. I think that needs to be talked about more. He's a good route runner.
God, he was so open.
Yeah.
I ain't seen all the receiver run that route, a route similar to that. I'll just be honest, man. It's been a while. Seth Williams was a great go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go up and get it 50-50 ball. He wasn't no route runner, though. Anthony Schwartz, still not a route runner in the NFL. He's just a one-trick pony. I can get past you and go deep, but, man, that was something to see. That was something to see. You know, just to see that kid just break down like that, just natural. And, oh, man, once they go to hit them on them stops, and, oh, man, they're going to be open now all year round, one way or another, because you got to respect him going deep. Then he can pull up on you and catch it. So that's going to be terrifying, even for SEC cornerback. That's a hard route to defend if you can run it the way that he can run it. If he can sell it. Well, he sold it, too. I almost bought it. Hell, I thought he was going to pull up on
it. you took the fate. You bid on it.
Man, but it was good talking to y'all. You know, I know y'all probably got a bunch of people on the line, but yeah, Zach, anytime you see 5960, that's going to be my main number now because I had my other number turned off. I got this one back rolling, but it's one damn eater, and I guess I'm going to eat me some bad meat Saturday, Cole. Oh. That was the game you had the eyes on, Cole. I like what I saw from that defense, Cole. If my defense show up and play, and boy, Durkin got some stuff in his bag. Ooh.
Yeah.
He showed some stuff. Hey,
yeah,
I'm excited to see more from him.
Yeah. Shit. Man, there's some asses in trouble. Now I don't want to get y'all demonetized, man. There's some folks. 8 games in the house. 8 games in the house. I can bring that kind of pressure on you with 2-star air rushers out there. And you don't know if they're coming. You don't know if they're dropping back. Oh, man, it's finna, man, war damn eagle, man. I'm out.
War damn eagle, Edward.
I hear that was prime time tonight, dude. Get your popcorn ready on that one.
War damn Edward.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
82. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
Hey, my bad, guys. It's Joe from Biloxi.
Joe from Biloxi, Mississippi. What's on your mind tonight, Joe?
Hey, just got a few things. Let me mute this TV. My bad, guys.
Yeah, be a veteran, big dog.
Hey, so yeah, no, my bad. First time, long time. All right. So I always listen to radio broadcasts. Grew up since the '93 season when we were on probation that year, and it sounded different. The excitement in the stadium sounded different over the radio broadcast. Did you guys get that while you were there watching the game?
Absolutely.
Man, I can't really speak to it. I'm in the press box up there. It's soundproof, which I hate. I don't need the silence to work. I want the atmosphere, but that's the way it is. So I don't really get to see it. Walking down to go see recruits, though, I mean, a lot of smiling faces. I've walked down and gone to see recruits and saw a lot of people with big old frowns on their face. That was
Joe, I will say this. I think me and Caldwell, we talked about this before the kickoff yesterday. It was as good as you could have hoped for. And actually, if you were just listening, if you were just walking out there with a blindfold on, you wouldn't have known it was A&M. And I'll tell you what, even at the end of the game, it wasn't like halftime, it was 50-something to 3 or whatever it was. And 60% of the crowd left. There was still, would you say 70, 80% left, Cole, when you walked down to the recruiting lounge?
Yeah, for sure.
It was a good atmosphere, man.
And I've got a theory on that, if you'll bear with me for just a second.
Okay.
I was told prior to kickoff that Auburn was going to go deep often and early, that they were going to try to have some vertical shots, not only to impress one Deuce Knight that was going to be in attendance, but to keep the crowd engaged. Yeah. Obviously, the opponent is who it is, but when you're scoring like that in the way that they were scoring,
fun.
Exactly, it's fun. It's worth you being there, right?
Yeah.
Like what is better than to watch Auburn go up and down the field in less than 4 plays and score a touchdown, right? It just hasn't been that easy in a long time, that smooth, that efficient. And so I thought if that truly was the plan to keep the crowd into it, that was a stroke of genius because you kept everybody there engaged. And like you said, at the end of the game, 70% still intact. That's huge to be playing a SWAC team.
Well, they were still throwing the ball with Gerner in there in the fourth quarter.
Jeffrey, when I walked down to go see recruits, I left early. I left in like midway through the third because I thought, well, it's a blowout, guys. The recruits are going to start filing out. They stayed for that fourth quarter light show. I've totally forgot about that, but they were all still in the recruiting section when I walked down. I was like, yeah. I went a little too early this time.
This ought to tell you something. We had to wait for 90% of the recruits. We had to wait for them until the game was over. So not only did they see the entire game, but I mean, they stayed and went into the locker room afterwards. Some of these main guys. So, Naeem, Deuce, I think Usman Chroma was the
first one out, wasn't
he? When I say first one out, he was still there till the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he left. And he was more animated than anybody we talked to.
I know how that sounds, by the way. Guys leave early all the time. They got to get home. I mean, that's just how it goes. It's not anything bad.
Now, again, he was more animated than anybody we talked to. Usman Chroma, the 4-star running back from Lee County, Georgia, top target for Auburn for all you non-recruiting junkies. And he was more animated talking to us than anybody else that we talked to. And he was the first one to leave.
Enjoyable interview, Usman.
He's a good guy. Like him. So, yes, Joe, fantastic atmosphere.
9-3-3-2. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's up, y'all? This is Eric Mack from Little River.
Little River.
Mack. Hey, man, it's been a while, man. War Eagle, brother.
War Eagle, Eric Mack.
I'm glad that the first game ended up like it did, man. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah. So, what were some of your highlights there, Eric?
Brother, I really liked the fact that they spread the ball around as much as they
Me too.
Let everybody get a touch. Let everybody, these freshmen get a touchdown. Really liked the fact that Sam Jackson got one.
Me too.
Yeah.
That was really big to me, man, because you flip the script, and here to coming Saturday, we were just playing against him last year. So I think that I think that he'll continue to do well, and I think that I tell you what I really like, man. What I really like the most, I like DJ Durkin's energy and the way he coached that game. So shout out to Durkin, and and man, like I said, it was just a joy to watch. I'm happy to be back, man. It was awesome. I just hope we can continue to do that against the games that we need to.
Hear you. I liked it, Eric. I'm right there with you on all that you just said. Loved it. 11 different players got targets. 10 different players caught passes. 8 wide receivers plus Fairweather plus Jeremiah Cobb. 8 different wide receivers caught a pass.
That's good.
6 of them caught 2.
I wanted to see a little bit more Rob Lewis. That was my only.
Well, I heard, let me give credit where credit is due. I heard Daryl Dapprich today on a different podcast say that Robert Lewis had a hamstring injury or was recovering from a hamstring injury. So
he looked good in warm-ups, and I was like, dang.
Shoot, hey, if that's him with a hamstring injury,
right?
Whoa.
Yeah, don't let me see full speed, right? So
he's quick.
That was what I heard today. Now, I can't verify that, but I am going to give credit where credit is due. That was reported by somebody else, and that would make sense, right? That would stand to reason. That's why Malcolm Simmons was over him in the rotation.
Okay.
I'll say this.
Cole, did you watch Robert in warm-ups?
Yeah, he's fast, man. Very quick.
Out of all those guys, he's the one who jumped out to me. He's the
You're
one
talking about a guy, by the way. I mean, I don't really care where you played. If you had 70 catches,
yeah,
he had 70 catches last year. That guy's a ball player. I mean, I'm ready to see some more of him. They definitely wanted to try him. And they had a shot at him over the middle. We talked about that play on the board today. But Thorne went to the comeback or whatever it was to Lambert Smith. But good call, Eric, on the part. I wanted to point out where you said about Sam Jackson not being the quarterback at Cal right now, and he's the receiver at Auburn. Well, Auburn fans, you better be glad, because when he came in the game, Auburn was in trouble last year.
Yeah,
Sam Jackson was a spark for Cal last year.
He's good. I'm with Eric, man. I'm so tickled to see him get a touchdown kick. I wish it had been from Peyton.
Yeah,
it was from Hank, but good for him, man. He's an OG. He's like sixth or seventh year, isn't he?
I think his 5th year. Yeah,
that's what I said. All right, keep us going there.
7-7, by the way. LSU.
5799. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ricky from Birmingham.
All right. How about you, Ricky?
I'm all right. Doing the score update. They just tied up on LSU and USC game.
Okay,
that's a good one.
That's not my real question. I'm just
you didn't call in just to update us on the score.
Hey, I appreciate it though, Ricky. I did.
Yeah, me too.
We'll take it.
I'm surprised y'all haven't mentioned Ryan G mentioned a big news update coming.
Yes.
I ain't even talked about it, but I'm just having to mention because I had saw it on the bottom of the screen.
I did too and forgot to mention it, Ricky. Thank you for bringing that back up. Ryan G, what was it, Zach? I can't remember. Good news coming soon?
Good news coming soon. Yeah.
I think it's a good news coming soon.
Oh.
We Justin Hokanson took a picture of it. We talked about it on the board during the live thread. Hugh Freeze huddled up like all the recruits, and it was our understanding that he told them that something was about to happen.
Okay.
He said, you've got a top 5 class and you're on the verge of being top number 1 overall. And that was with Naeem listening. That was with Deuce listening. That was with Chroma listening. Yep. And then all the other commitments. So that was, I loved to see that.
Was Melendez in there too? I think he was.
Melendez. Yes. Elijah. Forgot about him. Sure was.
Yeah. So Darian Morgan.
Sure was.
He just understands recruiting, doesn't he?
He gets it, dude. He gets it.
Oh, yeah.
He gets the recruiting part of it. Like, you can argue anything else you want, but the recruiting piece of it, Hugh Freeze understands it. He gets it.
Well, we've seen it, up close so many times, Jeffrey, and that's why I have that phrase that I like to say: you better leave him alone, because Auburn's on a upward trajectory. And now, what's going to happen? There's going to be some hairy times this season where things may not work out, and Auburn fans are going to get upset or whatever.
You're going to lose.
You can't buy me into that. You just can't. Don't even try, because I've seen what they're building, and if you let it happen, I mean, this class you're talking about that's coming up, and you're about to join them with Malik Blockton, DeMarcus Riddick, Caleb Harris, Cam
DJ
Coleman,
Barber,
Malcolm Simmons,
Joseph Phillips,
Amaris Williams,
Jamonte Waller,
who you've now seen in game action. You telling me you don't want to see that through?
No,
I mean, this season it matters. Absolutely, it matters. Don't take me wrong on that. But you better let this play through.
You would be an idiot if you didn't. And my best advice to Brooks has always been, don't
be an idiot. There you go. And this is the fun part, right? The build, the ascension. Like, this is the stress-free part of being a fan. Do you know how many stressed out Alabama fans you used to see running around thinking they had to keep on with their, 12-win season, or it's the end of the world? They'd be robbing banks if they lose a game.
Go ahead, Ricky. I'm sorry. We haven't even let Ricky talk.
Yeah, sorry, Ricky.
Hey, this is my only question, but are we 1 year or 2 years away from an LSU 2019 wide receiver room? Based off one game. I know it's A&M, but I'm just based off the freshman wide receiver, how good they play. Everybody talk about them over the veterans. So
I think that's a fair question. I think it is. I think what we saw last night validated what the rankings.
No,
showed us.
I'm with you.
I'm not ready to go there yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon.
Oh,
No,
really? Wait a minute. So first of all, tell me how good this LSU wide receiver. Are we talking Jamar Chase? Are we talking?
they had
Jamar Chase, Justin
first-round
Jefferson
draft picks in there, and Jamar Chase probably had one of the best individual seasons in recent memory for a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Now, I will say this: Jamar Chase has benefited from being with the same quarterback. I mean, they're paired together. They're paired together in the NFL.
That's crazy.
So when you have a guy that's that good, it makes you that much better as a wide receiver. So can we find our version of that, of the 2019 quarterback at LSU? That's, to me, the bigger deal.
Yeah.
I think the talent in the wide receiver room, and this is not to take away from that. I'm with you, Justin Jefferson, first-round draft pick, Jamar Chase, first-round draft pick. I mean, you had players all over the field. That said, I can make a case that Cam Coleman could be a first-round draft pick when it's all said and done.
I think there are 2 first-rounders.
I can make a case that Malcolm Simmons is going to be a first-round draft pick when it's all said and done.
Perry
Can you find Perry Thompson? But can you find a quarterback?
I completely. That's where I am, Alan.
Good point.
Like, I look at that yesterday and I go, man, these guys really are legit. Like, this isn't like, he's overranked. They're legit. Go ahead, Cole.
I'm sorry, my internet cut out. Just in recent memory, that LSU receiver room, Terrace Marshall, I think that was another guy in there. Thaddeus Moss, Randy Moss's son, was a tight end.
Yeah,
I mean, they had weapons, dude.
To put in perspective, like, because I know, Jeffrey, you asked for the stats. That year, Jamar Chase had 84 receptions, 1,700 yards, and 20 touchdowns.
Wow.
Justin Jefferson had 111 catches.
Are you serious?
Yards.
Yeah.
18 touchdowns.
They had 170 catches combined?
Yes. 190.
Yeah, they were dialing it up.
And then Terrence Marshall had 671 and 13 touchdowns. They had 3 receivers with 13 or more touchdowns, one over 20.
I mean, it was the most.
And I can't get there yet. I got to see.
I don't know that I'm there then.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Zach. That room, and then you have the Alabama room.
You know why? Because if y'all remember, that scheme they ran prior before that, it didn't fit Joe Burrow.
No, it did not.
Style. So Coach O found Joe Brady in New Orleans, and then all things was said and done. So it's probably just the perfect scheme. Does it for the quarterback? Then
Wow.
I tell you what, man.
Those are some numbers.
They are, and Joe Burrow was something special too, man. I mean, he had some stones. I remember the Auburn game, and look, Kevin Steele. Credit to Kevin. Shout out to Kevin Steele on this. Held them to their lowest point total all season long. Ran the most unique defense I have ever seen, where they basically had like 2 down linemen and everybody else was a defensive back on the field.
What a
Derek Brown. Derek Brown was just wreaking havoc. They could have had Derek Brown as the only defensive lineman there, and he was just in the backfield.
Yeah, he was. Go ahead.
When you have a Derek Brown, it makes that it helps you make your game plan, because all right, I can leave him. He'll be fine. Like, he'll handle that, and then I can do everything else I want to do around him. Right.
I mean, he was, to steal a line from my old high school football coach, he was a boy dog that game. No doubt about it.
Boy dog.
Yeah, and Marlon Davidson absolutely just leveled Burrow one time, and he still threw a complete dime on the rope, man. I mean, it just special quarterback, special talent on that team for sure. And who was the running back?
The talent in the locker room.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Remember the talent in the locker room after the national championship game? The wife of one of the boosters.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
You knew JD was going to break this up real quick, man. He's like, too much football talk.
Get the get.
Bro,
It took me a minute
show.
It took me a minute to switch back to that. I wanted to make one more point on what Ricky said, though. So I think there's 2 receiver rooms in recent memory that are way above everybody else and looking down on them. And one is that LSU, the Alabama one with Judy and Ruggs and Waddle and Devontae Smith. Now, I think a very, very not very close, but they're below those 2. But that Ole Miss room that had Metcalf and Brown and Treadwell,
Van Jefferson, I think.
Yeah, Cody Core, that whole solid group. I think you're getting closer to that.
So let's say of the past 10 years, a top 5 wide receiver room in the SEC overall potential
could be top 5.
Yeah. Because I'm Cole. You named the Alabama. Alabama, LSU. You're not going to see those again.
No, those were special rooms with special players in it. But could you be top 5? Yeah, I can make that argument for sure.
I hear you. I like it, Ricky. Good stuff, big dog. Appreciate you calling in.
0553. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Cole from Noonan.
A lot of Coles tonight.
It's a good name.
I got to add to it, man. War Damn Eagles.
I love it.
Football is back. It was beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Were you at the game, Cole?
I was not.
Well, there was nothing fall about that game.
That was the most complete opening game. I mean, I don't want to get too excited about it. It's Alabama A&M, but that was the most complete opening game. I'm so used to all those Gus years where it was jerky and looked difficult, and we had grinded out drives and couldn't put them away. And it was we made it look easy last night. Everything from the operation, from recruiting, everything we saw last night looked good. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more pressure from the interior DL. DBs maybe need to grow a little bit, but that was the best opening game I can remember from a kickoff standpoint.
That was a great point, Cole, where you said made it look easy. Yeah. Everything looked easy. How many times have we sat here and said, why is offense so hard? Why are they making it so hard?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. You watch the FCS team, no offense, Zach, put up 500 yards of offense. You're like, why can't they make it look easy, right? Auburn looked like it. I mean, it looked like it was very simple for them last night.
Yeah, I think Alan, Alan made the point earlier that, I mean, I don't know how many plays we actually ran. I mean, it was just send Cam Coleman deep, send KLS deep. Just let talent outshine the other team. I thought it was very well done. Overall,
46 plays.
It was super simple. And I mean, I don't know how much variety we actually did. I mean, it was just let the talent shine, let the guys do work. But one thing we did learn, I think, last night that I thought was a good takeaway was, we talk a lot about Hugh Freeze, the recruiter, but I think last night we saw early returns on Hugh Freeze, the talent evaluator. I don't think I've ever seen that many freshmen in a game one environment. And you saw, I mean, at one point we had the entire front seven look like freshmen. All these guys are ready to play. I mean, these highly rated guys, I mean, it's, again, not to just keep bashing Gus, but, all those years we brought in 4 stars, they didn't pan out. You got guys that are already playing. I mean, again, game one, Alabama A&M, but to come in and have all these guys ready to play and performing like they did, I thought that was very impressive. It looks like they hit on all these guys that they put time and invested in recruiting. And I think, Cole, you do a good job talking about how Hugh didn't change his board. I mean, you saw why. I mean, he stuck to these guys. I mean, Malik Blockton, not a highly rated guy, played out last night. Caleb Harris showed out last night. Not a highly rated guy. And it makes you feel good about, the guys that we're bringing in, which, damn. To have the recruiting list that we had last night for Alabama A&M.
Oh, yeah.
Other games going on that these guys are committed to. Lord have mercy. That was again, just from a game one standpoint, overall, absolutely outstanding. And one thing I'll just say real quick, and then I'll shut up and let you guys talk. But y'all mentioned him early on. Robert Woodyard, if he's listening, huge shout out to that kid. That you don't see that very often anymore. A guy that hasn't played for 2 years has every reason to transfer, leave, get upset, take his ball and go home. But you've seen a kid change his body and come out, and again, first game, who knows how the season will play out, but played a big role, showed out, and huge kudos to that kid for sticking through. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with him. He looked like a player last night, but props to him for sticking it through in today's transfer portal NIL era, which has been gone anywhere else. But he stuck it out at Auburn, and props to that kid. War Damn Eagle.
War Damn Eagle, big dog. Appreciate it. Robert Woodyard had 4 tackles, 3 solos, 1 tackle for loss, and a pass breakup.
Big night for a kid that hasn't seen hardly any playing time in the last 2 years.
I'm going to need Cole to call in some more. That was a good call.
That was a very good call, Cole Newman.
I'm with you.
Good phone. Good phone. Let's get 15.
Good audio.
Last call of the night. 0506. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is old Hogbone. How's it going, guys?
Hogbone.
I'm telling you right now, I've never been so happy in all my life.
Oh, we should get out more. Cut your TV down, Hogbone. Don't be a rookie.
I got a question for y'all.
Go ahead,
I think it does have a lot to do with recruiting too. But that article he had up, or on 3 had up about going away with a letter of intent and 5 years and a couple other things. And I guess that preserves red shirt too. I guess you can still go 6 years.
I think that does away with the red shirt, right?
What's that going to do for recruiting? Can they? Is that getting in conjunction with the rules on bringing all the stuff in house for paying, and is that part of the whole structure they're trying to get together? You think?
No, I think those are separate. And I will be honest with you, I have questions about the settlement getting pushed through now. I don't know if you saw the recent or the most recent article by Ross Dellinger, who's been all over this, but there are young men now who are starting to kind of lawyer up that are pushing back and basically stating you came to a settlement without my agreement to it. How can you necessarily cap my earning potential when you don't have my sign off to it? And I think that was always going to be the struggle, not having collective bargaining involved in any kind of agreement that was moved forward with putting a cap on NIL spending per team, or a revenue split, I think is what they want to refer to it as. But that'll be interesting, Hogbone, but I think this is a separate bit of legislation that's being pushed through. And this is lumped also with the 30-day window to the transfer portal and trying to make it just one window, which I think is a stroke of genius, but I think they're just timing it. If it were me, I would do away with spring football altogether, move my portal window to after spring training and create summer OTAs so that way you can stop having kids rush from high school to enroll early. And you also don't have people quitting in the middle of a playoff run. Why would you open a portal window in December when guys are trying to make a playoff run? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I think the process would flow so much better if you would wait until March or April to open that portal window, let people transfer, get enrolled over the summer, and have a summer OTA version. But that's just my brain, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. I think that's good. It's times are changing, fellas. I just wondered, is it going to come to the place where school is optional, or what's going to happen? I mean, that's just getting crazy.
Hey, I thought about the same thing, Hogbone.
Might as well. At this point.
I'm telling you.
Why the hell am I going to class? I'm making $700,000-$800,000 a year.
Anyway, we're looking good. We got it going.
Yeah.
I think we can actually, like I posted a little earlier, I think we could actually win a game passing the ball now. How long has it been for Auburn since we could say that?
Good point. Very good point.
Well, y'all got a good show going tonight, and I appreciate it. And just wanted to ask that question. I thank you.
Well, I'm glad you did, Hogbone. I always like to listen to Alan explain it to me.
Yeah, he's a smart fellow. It makes me feel good just getting that close to him on radio.
Yeah, look at it.
You making me turn red there, Hogbone.
Oh, Materhead. You got Hogbone and Materhead.
That's it, big dog.
Appreciate you, boy. Thanks. You can explain it very well. You keep.
Appreciate you, Hogbone.
Alan, I was sitting there thinking, man, I could just see Alan at a podium talking about this. You know what?
You know,
he's gonna be our PR guy for all the court cases.
When you're not here and we get an NIL question, man, Jeffrey, you're just like,
I was thinking if Alan wasn't here, I'd go, oh yeah, that 5th year, I don't think. Then I'd have said, yeah,
we get him on the phone.
Good in
Yeah,
team looked great.
You know what? That's the great part about this show, though. We all have roles. We all fill gaps, right? And you bring contrast and differing opinions. And I think that's the beauty of it.
You definitely, Cole and I can't do what you do. I don't have the brain capacity. I don't
either. I can't.
I don't understand it. If I read the story twice from Ross Dellinger, I wouldn't know how to process it. I wouldn't even know what the hell he was talking about. I mean, I'd get bits and pieces,
sure,
but to understand it, and hell, I learned just as much as Hogbone did, and I love your idea of eliminating spring ball.
What's the point of this?
That's fantastic.
I don't understand. There is an NFL model that we can follow that's already been perfected. We're doing this thing where we've got like one toe in with college football is trying to be professional and one toe out.
Right.
Just go all the way in it.
Submit to it.
You're right.
Commit to it.
Call it what it is at this point, and let's make it as efficient as we possibly can and try to get this to where it's a workable model for the coaches involved, because you're going to have a situation on your hands where it's going to become an unrecognizable sport if you don't do something right now to fix it and keep it in a point where it's as popular as it's ever been.
Absolutely. You've got kids enrolling in college like Cam Coleman that just turned 17, going back to prom.
Yes.
As a freshman in college, you got Perry Thompson saying, no, man, I'm playing. I'm staying. Malcolm Simmons, both of those guys making trips to Auburn just to watch practice and sit in on meetings so they won't get too far behind.
Right. And think about how much. Go ahead, Cole.
No, I was just going to say, I knew when I saw Malcolm Simmons doing push-ups out there at practice with street clothes on before he could actually be out there
with the wide receivers.
Right.
That's
and think about
it. Go ahead, Alan.
Cole, that you'll remember that for the rest of your life. You'll be telling that story when you're 80.
So my favorite coach of all time is Lou Holtz. All right, y'all can make fun of me all you want. He's my favorite coach of all time.
Suffering Tuckatas.
I know the voice. I got it.
Hey, no, I like Lou Holtz. If you're going to say Dabo, I might have had a problem with it, but Lou Holtz, I'll give you that one for sure.
Something that's always stuck out to me about him, he had all these guys that he recruited well at Notre Dame. Obviously, it was probably easy to do at the time.
Sure.
I think actually he might have taken over when Notre Dame was in a weird transition. Either way, he got some good players in there. He had one guy that never played, offensive lineman, and they lost like 2 or 3 games. And Lou Holtz said there was one guy on the team that was crying about it after the game and upset about it, and it was that guy. He said he was my starter after that.
Wow.
And then they turned it around. He said, I want people that love Notre Dame to start for me. I thought,
I mean,
yeah,
those are the kind of guys that change your program, and Malcolm Simmons is in that archetype.
No, I'm with you. You want somebody that's passionate about being a part of Auburn when it's unsuccessful, right? That when you meet that adversity that you're going to face every year, they're there for the long haul, and they're not looking to run from a fight. And so those are the kind of people you have to have on your roster. But just think about how much further along Malcolm Simmons would be if he had a summer OTA versus having to sacrifice that time, right? I'm with you, Cole. These kids have to grow up too quickly now And it just doesn't make sense to me to kind of force them to enroll in January just to be on the same page so they can play early, when you could allow them to be seniors in high school and also make more sense of your transfer portal situation so you know what your needs are when you go into the portal. You have a plan.
It makes sense. And that's probably why they won't do it.
I'm with you.
It makes too much sense.
Too much sense. Yep.
Right.
Well, fantastic show tonight. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be amazing. It was amazing tonight. It's a wonder what winning will do, and looking good and having fun, and watching a team go out and dominate the way that the fans at least expect to. Kevin, Don Cole from Knoxville has great Coles tonight.
Yes,
fantastic Coles. Anthony from Montgomery had
Carter, better Coles.
Better Coles. We had Cole and better Coles. Carter, Bammer Lover. We had 1025. It was a crank call. Hey.
Yeah, right.
Gave us a little intermission for Edward. A little lead in for Edward. Joe Biloxi, great stuff. Eric Mack had a fantastic call. Yep. Ricky from Birmingham had a fantastic call. Cole from Noonan had a fantastic call. And Hogbone.
Yes.
Fantastic close to the show, man. And I want to remind everybody this week we're going to hey, and how about you to Jeff McClellan? Join the Auburn Live Plus during the show. And I'm good for you, Jeff, because this week we've talked about and we've wrote about all these top recruits. There's several commitments coming up, announcements we're expecting in the coming weeks. And we're going to go a little bit more in depth about that later this week on an Auburn Live Plus recruiting show. So if you haven't already, if the website is your thing, man, go check it out. Always running deals on annual subscriptions, and always will. But if the website's not your thing, you just want to watch and listen to some really good shows, some in-depth stuff. J. Lee's former Spit Cup, man. You know what? Oh, Charles Kelly walked out with a big old can of Copenhagen last night.
I met him. Oh, I was walking to the stadium. I met him, and he introduced himself. And I always ask him, what's your username? And he goes, I'm J. Lee's former Spit Cup.
Nice.
Okay. So we're going to do that. So if the website's not your thing, go to Auburn Live on our YouTube channel right now. You're at it. Just click that join. It's $2.99 a month. Going to get some really good shows. Justin does some really good football shows, and we're going to pick up the recruiting stuff as signing day, December 4th, draws near. One more time, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, listen, these interest rates are starting to come down. The prices, though, you keep an eye on those prices, man. You get them in now, lock them in low. Get some help with your real estate needs. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. Give her a call, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. All right, folks, that's going to do it, man. We appreciate everybody calling. It was fantastic. We really appreciate it, and look for us later this week. Wednesday morning, maybe we'll have the recruiting show out, and we might have that recruiting plus show out as well. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. For Cole, for Zach in the back who came to the front, for Alan Head, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay that left lane. See you.